Hello, friends, and thank you as always for visiting the Legend Sports Universe YouTube channel, Legend Sports Universe, where legends play forever. This is the Eastern Conference Finals, Game 1 of Year 1 of the Legend Sports Universe Hockey League, and we come to you from Tampa, where the Eastern Conference has been flipped upside down. The number 7 seed Tampa Bay Lightning host the number 8 seed Toronto Maple Leafs in what should be a terrific series. Structure, discipline, very few mistakes from the Lightning, explosiveness from a Maple Leaf squad that is clicking right now. The Maple Leafs had to win on the last game of the season just to make the playoffs. Now they are 8 wins away from a Legends Cup. But they'll have to go through Tampa to do it. And Tampa has just not made many mistakes throughout these playoffs. Key in the series will be both goalies. Turk Broda, who did not have a great postseason up until the last 2 games of the Maple Leafs win over the Florida Panthers. He was terrific in those games. Hopefully for Toronto, he has righted his ship. The Leafs faced elimination 3 straight games. They were down 3-1 in the series against the Panthers. They won 3 straight in overtime to get their ticket here. The Lightning took down the Carolina Panthers, looking solid and disciplined to do it. They will just try to keep that train rolling. The league's top 2 playoff scorers, Austin Matthews, Steven Stamkos, ready to clash Game 1 in Tampa. It is an electric atmosphere here at Tampa Bay Arena in Tampa, Florida. The Lightning and the Leafs ready to go. The crowd is pumped. Hopefully you all are too. This should be a fun one. Gaudreau, Stamkos, and St. Louis for Tampa. Marner, Matthews, and Nylander for Toronto, and away we go. St. Louis comes out of the faceoff with it, has it, loses it quickly. Here's Matthews. Matthews sends it around behind the Tampa net. Hedman goes back for it. Nylander presses him. Hedman knocks it along the end board. Gets one. Matthews with a great opportunity in front. Vasilevsky tests it quickly, makes the stop. Here's Gaudreau. Gaudreau sends it behind the Toronto net. King Clancy retreats. Clancy being pressured by Gaudreau there. Gaudreau still being worked over by Marner. Clancy comes in for some help. Breakout pass to Nylander, and here come the Leafs again. Edmund feeds it to McDonough. McDonough sends it up to St. Louis. St. Louis up on the near side to Gaudreau. Sends it behind the net. Carlson gets there first. Carlson trying to play through an ankle injury. That could be something to watch. And Erik Karlsson, a big trade pickup for the Maple Leafs early on in this season. Nylander rips a shot wide of the mark. Edmund to Gaudreau. Vinny LeCavalier. Gaudreau gets it back. And Gaudreau, acquired from Calgary. Gaudreau's pass picked off. Gaudreau, nice deke there, gets himself in front, but has it poked away before he can pull the trigger. LeCavalier gets it, though. Shot goes wide of the mark. Fast pace to this one early. Clancy turns it over. Cirelli's shot is blocked. Oh, almost a disastrous turnover there by the Leafs. Here comes Carlson up the near side. Cavalier wins it off of him. Here's Darryl Sittler. Sittler sends it behind the boards. Dunna behind the board. Around the board. I say that. I say that too many times. Carlson rips a shot. Vasilevsky through traffic, cracks it, makes the save. And we have our first stoppage, 4:05 into period number 1. Malone, Bratton, and Callahan for the Lightning. Sittler, Keon, and Babe die for Toronto. Dave Keon, a big story. Horner shot saved by Vasilevsky as Horner tees up from the point. Keon had 8 assists but did not have a goal in the playoffs until Game 5 against the Panthers. 2 shorthanded goals in Game 5, the overtime winner in Game 6, and then another shorthanded goal in Game 7. as the Toronto captain found his scoring touch late in that series. That could be huge in this one. Fred Horner, who was hitting everything that moved in the Florida, I believe he's still second in the league in hits in the play. Keon loses it. Here's Malone. Malone loses it. Here's Keon. Keon shot saved by Vasilevsky, who smothers it. So Toronto has all 4 shots so far. Tampa hasn't been able to put a shot on Kurt Broda 5 minutes change into this. Corner, he's up, block. Cirelli cross eyes, pass to Horn. Horn shovels it down behind the Toronto net. Now when Stanley retrieves, gets it to Dick Duff. Nick Paul takes it from him. Stern plays that to the point. Cernak trying to fight off a defender. Loose puck there in front. Horner gets it out. At least momentarily to Stanley, back to Horner. Horner pressured, bad pass by Horner. Oh, I can't believe they didn't pull the trigger there in front. They had an opportunity, point blank. Tampa got a little too cute there. Huge turnover. Tampa fails to cash in, but that's the second misplay in the defensive end by the Leafs. Carl up the high side boards, tries to center it. Deflected. Holford sends it up to Keon. Keon across the blue line. Good job by Malone to poke it away from him. Braden points, has it, and then gets flat. Malone for Cernak. Cernak across the blue line. Carrying deep. Looks into the middle. Keon picks off the pass. Pratt. Pass goes all the way out and all the way down the ice. There's a Russian speedy wedge from Mitch Marner, and Marner gets there first. Feeds surging Keon. Keon can't pull the trigger. Carl pressured in the corner. Malone goes to help. Malone gets it to Stamkos. Stamkos fires the first shot of the game for the Lightning. Broda turns it aside with the pass. Here's Andre Palat. Palat's shot blocked. Doesn't get through. Horner gets it up to Marner. Marner to Keon. Keon rushing across the blue line. His pass is deflected away, and it comes the other way. The Cavalier sends it around the board. Nancy gets there quickly. Gets it to Keon. Keon knocks it around. Both teams trying to get a forecheck going without much success right now. San Luis to Palat. Palat across the blue line. Carries in, tries to pull the trigger. He gets stood up. Can't get the shot off. Keon to Marner. Marner sends it in. Boyle trapped by Keon along the boards. Keeps it along. Boyle goes in there. We got a 4-man scrum down in the corner. Boyle comes out of there with it. He gets pinned. Horner keeps it in the zone. Marner leaves it for Clancy. Clancy tries to tee it up, but can't get a good handle on it. Callahan checked off the puck, but gets it back. Callahan drives to the net. Shot hits the post. Callahan gets his own rebound. Up to Point. Point drives in. Now plays it to Cernak at the point. Slapper doesn't get through traffic. Cernak gets another opportunity. Slapper misses the mark. Cernak another opportunity. Shot there. Broda knocked it down and covers it up. Both teams buzzing around. Only 6 shots so far. Fred Horner introduces himself to Steven Stamkos. Stamkos got that first shot off. Horner already has 3 hits for the Leafs. He toes that line. And you see, he is now the hits leader in the playoffs. Physicality trying to turn the series for the Leafs. The more physical they were, the better they had an opportunity against the Panthers. Broda turns that one aside with the stick. Thompson digs it out of the corner. Wendell Clark leaves it for Carl Brewer. Thompson. To Brewer. Brewer to Kennedy. Kennedy to Armstrong. Armstrong carries. Loses it to McDonough. There's Hedman. Hedman chips it up. Marty San Luis. San Luis loses control. Has it poked in, and Broda will smother that one from the on-rushing. Lightning attack. Bart, Kennedy, and Armstrong to Drew Stamkos and San Luis. Thompson carries through the neutral zone. Clark. Wendell Clark. Cross ice to Goudreau. Goudreau. Oh my goodness. Brewer over there. I don't know why I still have 3 instead of 13. And the wrong team. Other than that, Goudreau drives in. Makes his presence felt there. Goudreau wins it back behind the net. Thompson wins it back from him. Flips it. Tries to get it out of the zone. Hedman. Hedman turns it over. Here's Kennedy. Kennedy is taken down, and we're going to have a penalty. It's a tripping call on Ryan McDonough. And our first penalty of the game. We'll see the Maple Leafs with a man advantage. Remember, the Lightning, the best penalty kill in the league. They killed 24 straight penalties to open up the playoffs before Bergeron finally broke through on them in Game 5 of that Carolina series. Marner to Nylander. Nylander has it poked away, gets it tied up in his skates a little bit. Marner trying to keep it in the zone, gets it to Rick Babe. Babe to Matthews on the doorstep, score! Austin Matthews. Fed from Marner, who continues to just be an assist merchant. And Austin Matthews just continues a sensational postseason. Right on the doorstep, Hedman tries to get to him, but Matthews gets rid of it quickly. From the slot, lifts it up over Vasilevsky, and the Leafs on the power play strike first. But what a pass here from Marner, who gets... I'm sorry, that was Babe. That's right, Marner had it. Babe got it from him. Apologies. Babe with the assist there. Marner will get the secondary assist. But that was a terrific pass from Rick Babe. And now the Toronto Maple Leafs, oh my God, Habs fans and Leafs fans would both want to lynch me for that. Babe to Matthews on the doorstep, 1-0 Leafs. For Austin Matthews, his 14th goal of the playoffs from Babe and Marner. 13:54. Malone to Callahan. Leaves it for Gratton. Gratton pass. Misses the mark. Matthews sends Nylander. Nylander across the blue line by himself. Just flips one towards the net. That's the Let's will hold on. Game has had good pace to it. But not a ton of shots. 6 for the Leafs, 5 for the Lightning. Alan Stanley leaves it for Horner. Horner tees up, misses the net. Babe Dye gets it to Keon. Keon tries to play it out to the point. Malone picks it off. Take down there along the boards. No call. Babe Dye with a shot. Saved by Vasilevsky. Real-life Maple Leafs fans, of course, lamenting Matthews' playoff success here in the LSUH. So I made a comment the other day on one of the posts about the playoffs, and related to Matthews performing in the playoffs. Yes, there is no mental frailty rating in NHL 26, so Matthews is in the clear. Keon to Clancy. Dye. Carlson shot through traffic. Never reaches the net. Here's Killorn. Killorn across the blue line. As it's poked away, Darryl Sittler gets it for the Leafs. Clancy sends it behind the net. Boyle, pressured by Keon, gets it over to Roman Hammerlick. Hammerlick with a breakout pass to Killorn. There's going to be a delayed penalty here. And the Lightning are going to get an opportunity. Extra attacker, Nick Paul's shot, saved by Broda. Touched up down in the corner. And Dave Keon is going to get whistled for holding. That puck is long gone, and Keon just keeps Boyle trapped. I'm not sure Keon knew that he had gotten rid of the puck. But Keon goes through the box. 16-24. Now the Lightning will have their first power play opportunity. San Luis, Stamkos, and Goudreau on the ice now for Tampa. San Luis to Gaudreau. Gaudreau's shot is deflected wide. Cavalier plays it out to Hedman. Hedman tees up. That shot is blocked. Hedman gets it off the block, though. Shot saved by Broda. Carl Brewer tries to get it out. Colford sends it down the ice. And for the moment, the Leafs can breathe a little bit. Cavalier to San Luis. Cavalier back to Stamkos. Stamkos across the blue line. To throw. To the Cavalier. The Cavalier shot, can't get it off. Tied up, rolls off of Brewer into the crease where Broda leaves it. Edmund retrieves. Stamkos to San Luis. Stamkos, shot saved by Broda. Stanley goals an assist in the playoffs. Toronto's defense has stepped up. Edmonds in the neutral zone plays the Cavalier midway through the power play. Nick Paul. Ball to the point. Braden Point. Point surges in. Shot saved by Broda, who smothered. Good look there from Braden Point. Takes off one by Point. Hammerling to Boyle. Boyle tees up. Misses well wide of the mark. Circles around the boards. Point has to go back to retrieve. Banks it off the end boards. Hammerlick up to Paul. Paul who had that big winning goal for the Lightning against Carolina. Palat. The ball, corner, kicks his pocket, sends it down. 10 seconds left on the power play. Boyle hits Hammerlick. Hammerlick to Malone, back to Hammerlick. He has it poked away from him. Battle along the near side boards. We're back at even strength. Nylander sends it, hits off the boards kind of weirdly, bounces in front of the net. Vasilevsky leaves it along the side. Here comes Braden Point. Point rushing down the center. Point. Now carries wide, looking for somebody to surge to the middle. Nobody was there. Leaves it for Boyle. Boyle to Point. Point shot. Hits off Carlson. Keon gets it away. Carlson gets taken down. No call. Here's Clancy. Clancy looks across ice. Hammerlick picks it off. Hits San Luis. San Luis gets hit. Leaves it for Gratton. Here's Dick Duff. Final 10 seconds of a fun opening period. Matthews sends it down deep. Tampa retrieves. And the horn blows to end period 1, game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. Austin Matthews does what he's done best all season long. Puts the biscuit in the basket. 1-0 Leafs. Take a look at our first period stats. Tampa with the 10-7 shots advantage. Toronto with the hits advantage. That's going to be key for them. They had the advantage on the dot as well. Both teams with a power play. Toronto converted theirs, and that is huge. If you can get any semblance of a power play going against this vaunted Tampa penalty kill, again, the best penalty kill unit in the league during the regular season and in the playoffs, that will go a long way towards the help. Here you see Marner pressured along the boards, double team. Vave squirts free. Marner gets it along the boards to him, and Rick Vave with just a perfect pass to the slot. Matthews gets a little bit of separation from Hedman, and before he can take the shot from Hedman, Matthews with the backhander flips it up over Vasilevsky. And that is our lone goal to this point. 1-0 Leafs. So I'm telling you, that period had a pace like there were more shots than that. I mean, obviously 10-7 is a very normal shot total. It picked up a little bit late, but both teams were buzzing. There were a lot of shots through traffic that didn't make it all the way through. That was a good period. Expect the kind of nip and tuck series like this. I think this is going to be. This series is going deep. Right now, the series goes to period number 2 as we get back down to the ice. Tampa crowd trying to exhort their squad, who throws Stamkos and San Luis, Marner, Matthews, and Nylander. These top lines open up period number 2. Nylander to Matthews. Matthews kicked off by San Luis. Clancy gets it back. Marner to Nylander. Back to Clancy. Clancy trying to steer the ship here. Marner across the blue line. Marner carries. Marner rips off a shot. Saved by Vasilevsky with Matthews on the doorstep. Victor Hedman keeping Matthews off his goal. Goes Matthews on the dot. Hedman has it. Played over to Goudreau. Throw to McDonough. McDonough hit from behind. Little chip shot. No call. Clancy sends it around the board. Hedman goes back for a 3. Break out past San Luis. But San Luis is coming back. Carries it back deep. McDonough fleeced by Nylander. Nylander shot glove saved by Vasilevsky, who holds on. Nylander forces the turnover, rips one off, but Vasilevsky snares it. Keon and the Cavalier now on the dot. Before the puck drop. Cavalier wins it. Edmonds point. Point takes a shot from Brewer along the boards. Keon being pressured. Sends it around to Stanley. Stanley to Keon. Keon whips it around. McDonough gets there first. A lot. Pass kicked off by Keon. Keon rushes in. Keon on Vasilevsky, but Vasilevsky stones him. Keon never really looked like he got a full-fledged shot off there. Point centering pass. The Cavalier puts it behind the net. Good job by Palat. Gets it in front to the Cavalier for another opportunity, but Broda stands tall and makes the save. Malone, Gratton, and Callahan for Tampa. Clark, Kennedy, and Armstrong for the Leafs. Gratton, Boyle shot saved by Broda. Broda leaves it for Thompson rather than freezing. Pressure along the board. Malone comes out of there with it. Surges in, saved by Broda. Kennedy to Clark. Clark to Armstrong. Armstrong speeds into the middle, but Gratton is able to get there and interfere with it. Hammerlick pass. Misses the mark. Thompson taken down from behind. From Callahan, there's going to be a Toronto penalty. Ryan Callahan. Callahan with the pressure here. Yeah, you can't do that. So Callahan gets called for the cross check. He spikes the water bottle in disgust. Hard to argue with that one. So the Leafs back on the man advantage. Nylander, Matthews, and Marner open things up on the power play. Tampa wins the draw. Hedman flips it down the ice. Carlson being pressured. Out to Nylander. Nylander to Marner. Marner can't handle it. He loses it right around the blue line. He goes to retrieve it, and there ends up being an offsides call as a result. No goals for Mitch Marner in the playoffs, but he has tallied 12 assists to lead the league. He needs to score when Matthews continues to light the lamp. Here is Matthews. Leaves it to Nylander. Nylander's shot hits off Cernak. He corrals it and gets it clear. 30 seconds gone in the Toronto power play. Marner to Nylander. Nylander rushing in. Looking for a little help. Nobody's there. He takes a shot himself. Vasilevsky with the stop. Flips down the ice, but Clancy retrieves it in the neutral zone. Keeps it from going all the way. Carlson cuts back. Nice play by Carlson. Matthews shot. Pad save by Vasilevsky. Killorn flips it down, and the Leafs will retrieve. Clancy to Matthews to Nylander. Nylander rips off a shot. Stick save turned aside. Kennedy's shot wide of the mark. Matthews wins it behind the net. Matthews speeds in front. Nylander tries to get a shot off, but Hedman interferes with that, wins the puck, sends it down the ice. 30 seconds left in the Toronto power play. Jason Nylander. Nylander feet in front, shot, one-timer, held on to by Vasilevsky. Wendell Clark with a good opportunity there. Vassy has been sensational throughout the postseason. The Wild's Nicholas Backstrom, who we saw in last night's Western Conference Final. He's gotten a lot of the attention, but Vasilevsky's numbers are actually better. 1.87 throughout the playoffs. Die to Sittler. Sittler's pass to the point, misses the mark. That's going to go all the way down and come close to running this penalty to its expiration. Palat picks the pocket. Keon wins it back. They're back at even strength. Keon around the board. Puts it in. Sittler pressures, and we're going to have another penalty, and the Lightning are going to go on the man advantage. Vassy leaves the net to get the extra attacker out. Cross-ice pass can't be handled. It's touched up, and Darryl Sittler is going to the box. So Sittler pins Callahan, who just got out of the box. Sittler pins him against the wall for too long. Second holding call. Sittler at 7 minutes goes to the box for 2. The Lightning will get their second power play opportunity. San Luis, Stamkos, and Gaudreau. Stanley pressure, driven towards the net. He gets forced into Broda, who just decides to cover it up. Face off to Broda's left here. Stamkos to Gaudreau. Gaudreau to Boyle. Boyle slapper, saved by Broda, turns it to the side. Corner pressured behind the net. Stamkos in front. Stamkos, Gaudreau. Gaudreau's shot is blocked. Gaudreau gets it back though. Stamkos' feed into the middle can't be handled. Stamkos scoops up the loose puck. Kennedy can't keep control. Kennedy whips this one down and around the boards. Boyle goes back for a retrieve for the Lightning. Here comes Stamkos through the neutral zone. Gaudreau across the blue line. Throw to Stamkos. Stamkos to San Luis. San Luis back to Stamkos. Shot saved by Broda, who covers it up. Stamkos tees one off. Broda up to it. There you see Dave Keon. 4 goals, 8 assists, 12 points in the playoffs for the Toronto Captains. A Cavalier's shot. Block goes wide. Palat digs it out of the corner. Point shot. Hit the post. Oh, point out to Hedman, who tees up the one-timer, and Hedman hits the post. Puck surges down the ice. Keon goes out to pressure it. Hedman goes back and retrieves them. Here come the Lightning again. Point across the blue line. Cuts it inside. Has it poked away by Bob Pulford. Pulford to Brewer. Brewer turn over to Paul. In front of the net. Brewer gets it out of trouble. Keon gets crushed. Oh, boy, they're going to call a delay of game on that. Keon tries to get it clear, and he gets hammered here by Andre Palat, and the puck goes over the glass, and Keon's going to get called for a delay of game there. I'm not sure that didn't hit off of Palat when he hit him, but it's a 5-on-3 for the Lightning. Wow, that was questionable. One-timer, steered aside by Broda. Corner, flips it down the ice. Hammerlick keeps it going the distance in the neutral zone. 10 seconds left of 5-on-3. San Luis gets obliterated by Horner. Oh man, Red Horner has been such a physical presence. 5-on-3 is over. Now it's 5-on-4. San Luis to Stamkos. Stamkos shot. Don't think that ever got through. Goes into the corner. Sittler tries to dig it out. He's pressured. Gaudreau to Stamkos. Stamkos hits the post. The Lightning have hit 2 posts in the last 3 minutes. Goudreau to Hammerlick. Hammerlick shot. Stick saved by Broda, turned aside. San Luis to Hammerlick. Hammerlick tees it up wide of the mark. Tampa trying to keep it in the zone. 50 seconds still left on the Lightning power play. Hammerlick shot wide. Alan Stanley gets it to Horner. Horner tries to get it clear. It's deflected by Goudreau. Marner and Horner along the board. Sittler flips it down the ice, looking for a change there. The Leafs. Hedman retreats. Here's Cirelli. 20 seconds left on the power play. Cirelli to LeCavalier. Bit of LeCavalier's shot is deflected into the corner. LeCavalier retrieves. Leaves it for Cirelli. Cirelli down low. LeCavalier. LeCavalier feed to the front from Malone. Malone tries to stuff it past Broda. It's saved. It goes over the net. 3 seconds left on the Lightning power play. Hedman. For Cirelli, we're back at even strength. Toronto has killed it off. Stanley gets the pass up to Keon. Keon out of the box. Rushing in to Armstrong. Has it poked away. Malone to Hedman. Toronto wins it back. Here's Armstrong to Nylander. Across the blue line. Down behind the net. Hammerlick being pressured. Kicks it along the sidewall. Breakout pass for Tampa. Here's Malone across the blue line. Malone rushing in to Braden Point. Has his pocket picked, though. Here comes Nylander the other way. 3-on-2 for the Leafs. Clark to Nylander. Nylander tees it up. Saved by Vasilevsky, who holds on. 8:04 left in the second period here in Game 1. Steven Stamkos with a chance to tie it. Rings it off the pipe. Great opportunity. Between the circles, dings it off. The clang that echoed here through the arena in Tampa. Palat, Cavalier, and Point. Duff, Fulford, and Babe, your lines. Babe to Carlson. Carlson tees it up. Slapper goes wide. Goes all the way down and around. Clancy will go back to retreat. Carlson to Duff. Duff across the blue line. Push it forward. Carl gets pressured behind the net. Gets Palat. Palat gets hit as well. Cernak gets hit as well, but Tampa gets it up. Here's the Cavalier. The Cavalier across the blue line. Pass to Palat at the point. Dave wins it back for Toronto. Babe carries on the right side. Babe breaks his stick. On that slap shot opportunity, Babe goes for some new lumber. Tampa rushes up the ice. Palat gets hit by Clancy. Carlson pressured behind the net. Point wins it. Paul gets taken down by Wendell Clark. Killorn across the blue line for Tampa. Killorn has it poked away from Clancy. Clark goes in to help. Clark digs it out. Here's Duff. Here's Babe Dye. Lots of helmetless guys for this Maple Leafs roster here. Old school. Babe Dye to Clark. Shards of the broken stick still in the middle of the ice. We'll wait for a stoppage to clear that up. Thompson kicks it along the boards inside 5 minutes left in the second period. Here's Keon. Keon sends it down and around. Cernak across the call. Point gets flattened. Carl wins it back for the Lightning. Through the neutral zone, across the blue line. Stamkos rushes to the net. Can't control the pass, though. King Clancy wins it. Clancy trying to get it out. Gets it to Duff across the blue line. Lightning win it back. It's Killorn being driven back. Killorn goes circles behind the net. Tries to start a rush. Turns it over instead. Keon's shot doesn't make it through. Clark gets it off the deflection, but his pass is picked off by Stamkos, who whips it around. We'll see if there'll be a change here for the Lightning. Thompson to Keon to Clark. There's Goudreau on the ice. If Paul gets taken down, there's going to be a penalty. So Tampa will get another man advantage. Cernak to Goudreau. Here's Nick Paul. Paul carries. Paul with the feed towards the net. Clancy gets a stick on it. The cross-check call will be, let's see, who got hit for that? Seems to be a penalty that maybe was a little bit behind the play. And it's Wendell Clark. No, it wasn't behind the play. It's what forced the turnover. Ooh, Paul eats the ice there. So Wendell Clark goes to the box. No stranger to that situation. But the Lightning will get their fourth power play opportunity. Stamkos, San Luis, and Goudreau. The Lightning looking to break through here. Hammer it. Slap shot. Tee it off. Feed in front. San Luis. Stamkos. Stamkos has it poked away. Toronto gets control. Thompson tries to flip it down the ice. Boyle gets it in the neutral zone. Fulford forechecking, trying to put a little pressure on. Here's San Luis, though. San Luis across the blue line. Marty San Luis has his pocket picked by Thompson, who sends it down. Tampa will have to go back to a 3. 13 seconds separating the period and the power play. Here's Johnny Goudreau. Goudreau across the blue line. Goudreau to San Luis. To Stamkos. Stamkos back to San Luis. His shot is deflected. Pressure in front of the net. Shot. Broda. Don't know how he tracked that one, but he's able to turn it aside. Brewer to Sittler. Sittler sends it down and around. Boyle over 3. Palat. The Braden Point. Armstrong. Boyle gets it behind the net. Here comes the Lightning rush. 35 seconds left on the power play. Pass there, a little bit too far out in front. And that's going to be an icing call. You never want to get hit with an icing call on your own power play. It's Palat. Andre Palat now pulls it back. Cross ice to Boyle. Boyle shot pad saved by Broda. Goes into the corner. 30 seconds left in the period. 15 left on the power play. Boyle. Pressured by Armstrong in the corner. Malone. The Point. We're back at even strength. Clark is out of the box. Point evades him. Cirelli. Cirelli's shot. Glove saved by Broda, who will hold on, and we will have a face-off with 3.6 left in period number 2. Malone, Grattan, and Callahan. Marner, Matthews, and Nylander. Matthews wins the draw. Clancy's pass connects, and the second period comes to a close. So the Maple Leafs with the lead here after 2. Ooh, an elbow there by Sittler that wasn't called. Stamkos rings the post, 1 of 2 hit by the Lightning in the second period. They've yet to dent the twine. 23-15 shots advantage for Tampa. You'll see the Maple Leafs with that big hits advantage, 13-4. Tampa does have an advantage on the dot. But Tampa 0 for 4 on the power play so far. No real, take one more look at that. Where's the Stamkos shot? The one from the, oh no, that's a save by Broda. That's not. Is this the one that hit the post? Nope, that was blocked. Stamkos certainly getting his shots. All right, well, we're not going to go and focus on that. Look for that. Late again. Nope. All right, that's fine. We're not going to go looking for the shot off the post. We've seen that replay a couple of times. Instead, we're going to get back down to the ice for the final 20, possibly here in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Be a huge road win. The Wild pulled it off in the Western Conference, taking Game 1 in Colorado. Toronto trying to pull off the same feat here. It's Marner. Marner rushes in. Marner shot, saved by Vasilevsky. San Luis turns it over. Marner gets checked off the puck though, but regains control. It's Marner looking for Matthews. Left for Nylander. Shot wide of the mark. Hedman gets it, then loses it to Marner. Nylander pressured by Stamkos. Nylander gets away from him, but Hedman picks off the pass. Nylander keeps it in his zone. Great job by Nylander. Skates in on Vasilevsky, score! William Nylander, his third goal of the playoffs. Just a tenacious shift by Nylander. He makes contact with Vasilevsky here. Ooh, boy. This is a little bit questionable. I mean, he had already gotten rid of the puck there, but it hits off of Hedman. And it didn't get past Vasilevsky until it seemed like after Nylander had made contact. But it is not reviewed. It is a goal, and it's 2-0 Leafs. Nylander's third of the postseason comes at a minute 10. McCavier to Palat. Palat can't pull the trigger. Carlson ties him up. Here's Sittler. Sittler across the blue line. To Babe Dye. Dye. Shot, save, rebound, score! Sittler puts in the rebound. And a blitz in the first 2 minutes of period number 3. And the Maple Leafs have a 3-0 lead in Game 1. Sittler goes to the net. Vasilevsky makes the first save, but it falls right onto the stick of Sittler, who beats the prone Vasilevsky. And it is 3-0 Maple Leafs. Great job by Sittler. Fourth goal of the playoffs. Dye and Carlson get credit for the assist at 1:43 of the third. Babe Dye gets hammered. Big hit there from Tampa. Here's LeCavalier. LeCavalier sends it behind the Toronto net. Carlson gets it. He's pressured. Comes out of there with it, though. Carlson is taken down. No call. Hammerly. The point. Off to LeCavalier. Leaves it for Boyle. Cavalier rushes in. Has it poked away from it. Clancy to Sittler. Here's Keon. Keon pulls the trigger. Slapper from deep. Vasilevsky holds on. 2 goals in the first minute and a half of this third period. And Nylander has put some pressure on all game, but that was just a terrific play by Nylander. Loses it, wins it back, skates in on Vasilevsky. But there you can see, he has clearly made contact with that. He had gotten the initial shot off, but before that puck goes in, Nylander clearly contacts Vasilevsky. Tampa certainly has a gripe there, but they haven't put a puck in the net of their own right. And that's the bigger issue here. Malone to Callahan. Callahan shot. Leaks through Broda, but trickles wide. Stanley to Clark. Clark from the neutral zone. Clark across the blue line. To Armstrong. Armstrong tees it off. Stick save by Vasilevsky. Clark tries to get it center. Carl picks it off. Here's Stratton. Stanley intercepts. Armstrong leaves it for Horner. Bark to Armstrong to Kennedy. Kennedy's shot. Vasilevsky steers that one aside. Bark gets hammered in the corner. The taste of his own medicine there. Here's Cirelli. 3-on-2 for the Lightning. Nick Paul. Paul to Killorn. Killorn's shot goes wide. Cirelli plays it out to the point. McDonough tries to send it down low. Armstrong intercepts. Across the blue line. Armstrong pulls it back, then carries again. Paul intercepts the centering pass. Cirelli. Towards the net. Nick Paul. The backhand opportunity. Broda steers it wide. Clark to Matthews. Matthews to Pulford. Pulford pulls it back. Shot hits off the end board. Bounces in front of the net. Matthews sends it down to Marner. Marner gets checked. Carl intercepts. Here's Killorn. Killorn's pass picked off by Marner. Cirelli being pressured by Matthews. Marner gets control. Marner cuts center. Marner with a shot, and Mitch Marner has his first goal of the playoffs. Dings it off the inside of the post, and Marner, who has been feeling out assists all postseason, finally gets the goal of his own, and the Leafs have blown it open with 3 in the third. Mitch Marner. Top shelf double pipe. 4-0 Leafs. So this one getting away from John Cooper's squad. And the Lightning faithful have been silent. 13 points in the playoffs from Marner. 12 assists. That's his first goal. 6:55 of the third. Matthews to Nylander. Nylander shoots. Vasilevsky steers it to the side. Cernak to San Luis. San Luis across the blue line. Leaves it for Stamkos. Stamkos shot. Glove saved by Broda, who feels like has not been tested this entire period. Here you see Kurt Broda with that photo that looks like it was taken with a Viewmaster. Broda's made a couple of nice saves in this game, but certainly it does not feel like he has had a ton of high-risk chances that he's had to make. All things considered. Goudreau, Stamkos, and San Luis for Tampa. Sittler, Keon, and Dye for Toronto. Keon gets taken down from behind, and frustration sets in. Steven Stamkos. Can't have your captain mentally losing control here. That's a little bit weak. I mean, he has his stick on his back there, but he didn't exactly pop it. That seems like a little bit of a soft call. But you get your stick on the guy's back, you run the risk of that call being made. Sittler, Keon, and Kennedy on the power play here for Toronto. Keon wins the draw. Clancy at the point. Lost control in the middle. Hedman banks it off the board to Grant. Behind the Toronto net. Carlson. Pass in the middle. Almost gets picked off. Here. Kennedy. Feed in the middle. Keon with the shot opportunity. Gets blocked. Gratton to Callahan to Cernak. Hedman. Pass intercepted. Cernak. On the near sideboard. Pressured, has it poked away. Clears the zone. Keon rushing for it. Hedman barely beats him there. Here's Gratton. Loses it to Pulford. Bob Pulford with a breakaway. Pulford rushing in on Vasilevsky. Backhand saved by Vasilevsky. Pulford gets another shot opportunity, though, and Vasilevsky saves that one as well. He will cover that one up for the faceoff. Toronto with the shots advantage, 27-26. More importantly, the goals advantage, 4-0. Warner's shot blocked by McDonough. Malone. To McDonough. McDonough's cross-side pass picked off by Matt. Matthews. Feed into the middle, picked off by McDonough. Malone. Hammerlich. Over to McDonough. McDonough to Cirelli. Cirelli across the blue line. Carries. Shot saved by Broda. Turned aside. Babe digs it out. Nylander to Matthews. 5 seconds left on the Toronto power play. Matthews feed across. Picked off by Killorn. St. Louis to Stamkos. Give and go. Stamkos across the blue line. Stamkos from the circle. Shot saved by Broda. Holds on. Goes Stamkos, St. Louis. Boyd. Down low. Keon gets it in front of the net, trying to get it clear. Stamkos wins it back. Hammerlich. Hammerlich out to Boyle at the point. Shot, glove saved by Broda. 9:18 remaining here in period number 3 in game 1. And the Leafs, with a 3-goal third period, have opened up a 4-0 lead. Clancy. Clancy carries. Sent behind the Tampa net. Hammerlich kicks it out of the corner. Hammerlich pressure, kicks it along the side wall to Gaudreau. Gaudreau gets hit by Clancy, but gets it to Stamkos anyway. Stamkos rushes in, cuts inside. Carlson picks his pocket. Gaudreau wins it back. Stamkos to Gaudreau. Gaudreau's shot. Cleared aside by Broda. Boyle gets it in front. Boyle has the post sealed off by Broda. Side to Clancy. Tampa trying to buzz around here. Keon to Carlson. Carlson to Sittler as Toronto breaks out. Sittler carries it across the blue line. Takes the hit along the boards by Hammerlich. Hammerlich's pass is picked off. Clancy retrieves. Clancy takes the blue line to Armstrong. Armstrong shot. Stick saved by Vasilevsky, who steers it into the corner to come up on 7 minutes remaining in the game. Beaufort loses it to Grant. Gratton to Boyle. Boyle to Paul. Paul's shot is blocked. Armstrong gets it out of the corner. He's taken down from behind, and it's going to be another Toronto power play. Ryan Malone will go to the box for the Lightning. And discipline has been such a strong suit for the Lightning throughout this playoff run. Took down the number 2 seed Islanders in 5 games, then took down the Hurricanes. And discipline and structure were their hallmarks. They have lost that late here in game 1. Nylander, Matthews, and Marner on the power play unit for the Leafs. A lot through the neutral zone as it pokes away. Here's Nylander. Nylander takes the hip check along the board. Toronto keeps control though. Here's Nylander. Nylander across to Matthews. Matthews to Marner. Marner cuts inside. Nice move by Marner, and he scores again. Mitch Marner, who hadn't scored all playoffs for the first 2 rounds. His second goal of the game, his second goal of the period, is a power play goal, and it is 5-0 Leafs. I'll tell you, if Marner gets into the scoring act, Toronto is going to be really hard to cope with. And the boos rain down here in Tampa. I think as much as the penalty as the result, but there have been a couple of questionable things here in this third period. Darren Pupil is going to come on. They're going to get Vasilevsky out of this game just as much to get him a mental reset. And I'm not sure that Vasilevsky has been right since he got run by Nylander on that goal. This whole thing turned then. That felt like that needed to at least be reviewed, and there was no sign that it was. Marner from Matthews and Nyland. 5:50 remaining. 4 goals in the third period for the Maple Leafs. Shot there, saved by Broda. Malone on the doorstep, loses control though to Stanley. Shot saved by Broda, who covers it up. So Vasilevsky, who has been exceptional all postseason and during the regular season. But 4 goals for the Leafs here in the third. You see the first goal. Marner's on the secondary assist to Matthews, and then Marner got into the act himself. Top shelf, the toy department, as Butch Goring would call it. It's Marner into the scoring act. 14 points, tied for 4th in the playoffs. 5:23 remaining here in the game, and it is all Leafs here over these final 20 minutes. Dave with the shot. Steers wide. McDonough. McDonough to Palat. To Hedman. What's the key here for Toronto? Sure, most hockey fans will say is that they have a bunch of old guys on this roster from back when the Leafs actually won occasionally. Fulford to Duff. Duff shot, stick save. Fulford shot there. Deflected behind the net. Braden Point. Point banks it off the board. Cavalier feeds to Point. Point feeds in front. Dave pokes it away though. Corner to Fulford. 3.5 minutes remaining. Fulford across the blue line. Gets Duff on the doorstep. His shot is blocked. Hedman to Palat. Palat, Cirelli. Pressure kicked along the end board. Nylander. Nylander's shot. Not shot. Sent around behind Georgia. Callahan comes the other way for Tampa. Here comes Callahan. Cirelli. Cirelli to Boyle. Boyle keeps his man. 2 minutes remaining in the game. Air has been let out of the balloon here in Tampa. Cirelli pinned along the wall. Kicks it along the end board. Thompson gets it for the lead. On to Cirelli. So normally a blowout situation in a playoff game, you just say, you know, you just didn't have it that night, and then some people will say that it's easier to regroup from that. This is a little bit of a different situation, though, because this was a blitz in the third period. This was a tight, hotly contested game. Very level through 2. And then it just kind of unraveled on the Lightning here in the third. Boyle's pass misses the mark. Nylander just sends it down. 35 seconds left on the clock. This is not just a, all right, we just gave a bad effort tonight. This is the Lightning getting overwhelmed in a flash. That might be a little bit harder to navigate. We shall see. Don't worry, the Lightning are not going to fold. That I promise. Lightning will be in this series. Right now, the Maple Leafs, again, riding the high. 3 straight overtime wins against the Panthers in elimination games to get here. And I think Toronto just kind of feels like they have something brewing right now. Broda steers it to the side. It's a clean sheet for Turk Broda. And a 4-goal third period for the Leafs to take game 1 in Tampa 5-0. The boos rain down here in Tampa. I think half of that is towards their team. Half of that is towards the officials. A couple of questionable ones. The Nylander goal that broke the seal on the third period. The big one, Vasilevsky, basically gets run over before the puck is in the net. No sign of a review or anything. And that opened the floodgates and let this game get out of hand. 5-0 Leafs take game one of the Eastern Conference Finals. Matthews had the opening goal. He gets third star honors with the goal and the assist. This was just a beautiful play. Great pass from Rick Bay. Matthews right on the doorstep, gets rid of it before Hedman puts the hit on him. Mitch Marner, 2 goals and an assist. Marner's first 2 goals of the playoffs. 12 assists now in the postseason for him, but Marner gets involved in the goal-scoring act, and Kirk Broda, 34 saves. Broda was certainly fine. He had a couple of difficulties, but it really felt like Tampa Bay just didn't have the same high-level opportunities that the Leafs had. Red Horner, man, he absolutely crushed Stamkos there. So your final tallies here, the Lightning with the shots advantage, 34-30. Toronto didn't commit a lot of hits. They had 14 hits after 2, so that's uncharacteristic. Only 1 hit in the third, but they knew they had the, once they got the lead there, clearly the discipline drum got hammered into them. They go 2 for 4 on the power play. So the Lightning, remember, the Lightning killed off the first 24 power plays against them this postseason. But now they gave up 1 in each of the last 2 games of the Carolina series, even though they got out of there with the win. And now they give up 2 power play goals in this one. So the penalty kill going through it a little bit at this point. I expect that ship to get right in. But Tampa 0 for 4 on their own power play. We'll go through the third period goals here, and there's 4 of them, but this is the one that changes everything. We're going to go to the full-fledged replay on this one because this is huge. So Hedman gets it. His pass can't be handled. Oh, Stamkos. Stamkos can't handle the pass. Nylander bodies him off. Shields him off, rather, and then dekes him. So good move here by Nylander. Nylander carries. Stamkos takes a swat at him. Now, Nylander shoots here. After he carries in, Hedman thought he was going to feed Matthews, so Hedman's kind of hanging back. Nylander just keeps it. But now watch what happens here. Nylander with the shot tries to get around Vasilevsky. This hits off Vasilevsky's glove, then hits off of Hedman. Now watch Nylander here. Nylander makes contact. I know the puck is actually behind Nylander, but even so, that Nylander contacts him. He's not pushed into Nylander, not pushed into Vasilevsky here. It hits off Hedman's arm and then off of Vasilevsky's back. So, I mean, it's hard to say that you don't call goalie interference there. Because if Nylander hasn't forced Vasilevsky back there, that puck may just land on the ice behind him and he's got a chance to save it. Instead, it hits off his back and into the net. Vasilevsky gets knocked into the goal. There's no review on that. And the game does reviews, and it will call goals back on stuff like that. But that one, it lets go. And that opens the floodgates. Sittler, 37 seconds later, puts in a rebound. Who takes that shot? That's not Clancy. Oh, that's Dick Duff. Duff with the shot, Vasilevsky with the save. Sittler puts in the goal. That makes it 3-0. And then Mitch Marner finds his first net of the playoffs. Double post dink dink, top side and in. That makes it 4-0. And then Marner gets his second of the game. Beautiful move there. Marner cuts inside and beats Vasilevsky. Now make it 5-0. And that is our final score. Well, Lightning got to regroup here. I still expect this series to go deep, but I'll tell you, that was an impressive third period, even given the fact that the Nylander goal certainly looks like it should have been waved off. But we will be back for game 2. We'll keep on alternating. So we will do the Western Conference game 2 as the Colorado Avalanche will try to get level with the Minnesota Wild. Both road teams take game 1. The Wild in the West and the Leafs do it here in Tampa. 5-0 in game 1. Greatly appreciate you tuning in. As always, bang that like button if you haven't as of yet. Subscribe if you haven't as of yet. Be sure to check the new Substack, where I'm doing a lot more writing about the stories and events of the Legends Sports universe. A lot more kind of newspaper style articles and features and stuff like that as we try to bring the stories of the Legends Sports universe to life. Appreciate you as always. Be good to each other, everyone, and we will talk soon. The Leafs take game 1, 5-0 in Tampa, Eastern Conference Finals.